Hello, peoples of the internet. It's been a hot minute since I've done this, but yeah, I'm getting back into doll customizing. Bring out the victim, please. Okay, so I had this one idea a long while back. I was going to like have my followers on Instagram like decide on like stuff for this one doll that I would make in the future. And like I drew up that doll and all, and like I came up with some shiz. And then my motivation just said no with a heart. Yeah. And what is it now? Like about a year later, I'm guessing, that I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get back into this. I was excited to do this, and then suddenly, like, after I got, like, the concept art finished up, first, the idea of the mobile cortex came to my mind, and I was like, yes, sexy, I love it, let's do it. And then, yeah, I guess I got kind of distracted with that, and, like, legit, yeah. Anyways, I want to get back into making dolls, so, yeah. I'm using this gal as, like, sort of my starter getting back into that. So, let's enjoy this mess together. I'm really excited to work on her, especially because, like all this etching on, like, her face and stuff. Her musical tattoos are giving me some ideas, and just, yes, this is going to be fun. So, let's get to work. So, first, we prepare the victim. I did this over a couple days, first wiping out the face, then removing the hair. I had to take off the head to get out the last little bit, and it was a little rough for my first time back to doing this. After pulling the plugs out and popping the head back on, I noticed it wasn't really holding pose. Not to worry though, so emergency surgery and a couple of rubber bands did the trick. Then, we just have to spray and wait. Now that that's all over, time for the real fun. First, I did a little blush on the nose. I was tempted to do the cheeks too, but I decided not to, since I want her face to look a little cold and pale. Then we just have this bold contrast from the left side of the face to the right, because there's a lot of scarring, or at least that's what I'm shooting for. You'll see. I tried to highlight all of her cool little sculpting. We're going to be using it a lot later. I also added in a touch of Vorpal eyeshadow, just because, I don't know, it saves her, I think. Next, it's time for me to go in with the pencils. I tried to stay close to the original concept art, though I made a few tweaks here and there just because, you know, detail. At first, I wasn't so confident, but after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers, I think she turned out pretty good. I really like the eyes. Besides her face, I was mainly coloring and detailing the quote-unquote metal showing under her skin. Came out a little bit inconsistent, but I still think she's okay. I also gave her this one small tattoo on her arm, which is a new thing from the concept art. I had this idea of her being from the solar system that I made up, called Opal. I want to try writing about the Opal system someday. Maybe that's a future video? Who knows? I decided a while back I was going to do some light body modding for this gal. Or, in other words, stealing this poor creature's legs. Or at least I was going to. I've had Monster High dolls in the past whose lower legs came off easily, but neither of these girls were having it. I really wanted my plan to work, but I was afraid of their shin splitting or something, so I thought maybe I should come up with a simpler plan B. We'll come back to it later. For now though, we got the hair. I brushed out a few different blues and a bit of green from this cool multicolored yarn I had lying around. Then, I gently hot glued pieces of it onto the head. Afterwards, we play a little bit of stylist, and then repeat on the other side. Pretty! Next, I get her clothes on, and then I try my plan B. I basically wanted to make a piece that slips onto the doll's calf. So I tried to sculpt one using this poor tormented soul as a guide. Took a lot of finagling with wires and pliers. What I ended up with stayed pretty close to what I had in mind, though it's rough to say the least. But I think it'll suffice. Now to just finish putting her together. Okay, everybody, meet Saturn. I'm honestly surprised with how she came out. Not me struggling to pose. Around the time that I first came up with her, like, I was a little bit conflicted with her design. Like, I thought it looked pretty, but, like, I don't know, I was somehow discouraged. Like, I didn't know much about how I'd pull it off, you know? But seeing what we got now, I like it. I especially love her freaking face. Like, hang on, freaking lights. Just look at that shiz. I love her. She may not have come out like the concept art originally intended. Like, it wasn't until, like, going back and looking at it, because, like, I was doing some video editing and shiz. One, I noticed that I was going to have another one of these wire thingies on her arm. I also wasn't able to do the legs like I originally intended, which I'm still kind of bummed about that. Lagulara isn't doing so well either. But I still like the product we came out with. I don't know if I'm going to be doing another, like, follower-inspired doll again soon, but I do have, like, a lot of ideas for dolls that I want to do. I have some shiz that I want to do that's, like, Wizard 101 inspired, Hollow Knight inspired. Anyone play Outer Wilds? Yes, I got something in mind for that too, and yes, that's going to be a challenge. But yeah, I'm going to be showcasing a process on Instagram like I normally do. I may do some polling there. I like to try to get people's opinion whenever I'm kind of stuck on something, I guess. I also, like, post dumbass stuff on Twitter, so if you want, you could check out that. I also have my whole freaking process of... I have some silly shots and stuff of Saturn, like, put up on there. And, yeah. Yo, by the way, I actually even got a little bit of help with her name from Instagram. Like, I was split. I've had space names on the brain lately, okay? And, like, I was thinking of either naming her Saturn or Jupiter. To be honest, I was really leaning towards Saturn, but I also really like Jupiter. But, yeah, Paul helped me out, and we settled on Saturn, and I love the name. And I hope y'all love her, too. Next video, I'm thinking I'll probably try to do the Hexbug documentary part 2. And, yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye!